Hello YouTube, welcome. In this video, we will check the future updates of the Black Desert Online. I'm live on Twitch right now and the official translation of the Global Lab, that special pod, just arrived. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, by the way, I'm not forcing people on the left side on the screen to say hi to YouTube. And I'm not forcing YouTube, definitely, to not just come and say hi to Twitch chat. But you have to. You forget. You just never forget that. So I'm live on Twitch. Like I said, do not hesitate to come and say hi. So what is this thing? Like, what is expecting us and why this patch is giga important? Why? Let me just try to, read the developer's note and I will also just add what I'm thinking. Greeting adventurers. We are here to share an update on the upcoming overhaul of the damage calculation formula, which we first announced at the recent Header Ball. Our original plan was to gradually roll out these changes to the Black Desert Global Lab starting today on July 11. So this explanation coming directly from the Global Lab patch, that's why it's a little bit odd, but however, due to the fact that every part of the combat system is deeply interconnected, testing would be less accurate if we applied only a portion of it first. Therefore, we have decided to apply all combat system improvements at once July 18 Friday, this will be on Global Lab. For the official servers, we are aiming to have the changes applied as early as July 14 and no later than July 31st, depending on the results of our resulting. So the question is, people asking, when we will get it. If they see that in the Global Lab everything is just working properly and no issues, no bugs and other things, we will get it in 2 weeks. Not the next maintenance, but like in 10 days or something. Today is 15, yeah, in 9 days we will get it. Or they will just wait 1 more week and we will get it on July 31st, at the end of the July. And hopefully we will have no issue because there will be lots of changes and the root of the game will change entirely. Since this patch includes a wide range of the changes, today I would like to give you an overview of the main improvements coming in the next week. To make the transition as smooth as possible, we will share detailed information on each change in the next week's Black Desert Global Lab patch notes. We're committed to making sure everything truly blah blah. I'm just passing that part. The following information is preliminary overview of upcoming updates. It might be modified, expanded, or removed in the actual release. What you will see right now from this moment on and at the end of the video until at the end of the video, they all are preview. There will be giga patch, very big patch on next Global Lab and the next and the next and the next. Very big patches, very big, like my D and future. So this is just a preview, okay? They just give some general things to you. They just want you to, prejudge the thing, review, analysis, to do something, and here we go. To make it easier and more intuitive to view your character's applied stats, the equipment My Stats UI will be improved and the new detailed stats menu will be added. This will be the new UI setup, the new My Stats UI thing. So this is Korean. We do not know how it will be, but it will be clearer and more understandable for everyone in the game. A good quality of life update, definitely. Okay, no more mouse movement during skill use. Like mouse movement is a big issue in the game, isn't it? Let me just read it and we will talk about that. Using mouse movement or click to move during a skill had a significant impact on PvP balance, depending on whether it was available and the user's proficiency. Because mouse movement forcibly altered the character's actions mid-skill, it also caused desync between the visible position and the actual position. To provide a better PvP environment, you will no longer be able to use mouse movement while using a skill. When you are not using a skill, for example gathering or basic movement, mouse movement will function as before. Repeating it again, only for using skill, mouse movement will be blocked. I don't know what you guys thinking, but this is kinda big W. Why it's big W? This is like something you cannot solve because it's related with the game engine. And game engine cannot, handle that thing. And also server ticks and also desync issues, ping, and lots of things just affecting the mouse movement, creating desyncs, and also making the PvP kinda, it's not fun. It's being funny instead of fun. Which classes will affect it directly from this one? Mostly Berserker will affect it. For example, like Awakening Sage in these days, one of the most broken class in the game, and we are expecting huge nerf on the class. Awakening Sage will be affected. That's WF skill or something. I don't know. The knockback skill, they're just CCing people from the front guard with that mouse movement. And there are other classes. They're using the mouse movement a lot, and intentionally or unintentionally, it was creating desync, and they're just removing it, and there will be no desync issues in PvP because of the mouse movement. Also, they did some kind of, you know, other type of precautions in PvP in Awakening Nova, for example. Like 3 or 4 months ago, huge rework patch for Awakening Nova, and they just slowed down the Awakening Nova's mobility and all other, you know, bursts, you know, reposition skills. They did it because they cannot fix their own game engine, and they're just trying to make all system in the game that whichever just creates issue, desync issue, lag issue, anything. They're just nerfing them. They're just, you know, decreasing their levels to the game engine level. Mouse movement was one of them. Like, what was the name? Awakening Nova was the one of them. They can't fix them, so they're just they can fix their game engine. They're fixing classes and other mechanics in the game. Yeah, like, it's their fault, not gonna lie. They should know, like 5-6 years ago, they should have known that this game engine cannot handle Nova Awakening or mouse movement. Let's just remove it directly from the game and slow down the fast classes that's making desync, creating desync in the game. It's a little bit late decision. I don't know. Why not update the mouse movement and including in PvP scene? It was a big skill differentiator. I'm very disappointed actually. They could invest in an engine development or port it to Crimson later. Maybe they will do it later, but right now, completely changing the game engine, and also, I don't know. I really like the mouse movement thing or anything that requires skill and make difference with your skill, like, but they can fix it, and it's making the game, you know, not fun. It's making the game funny, not fun. Because of that, like, at all, it's their fault. They should have fixed it like 5-6 years ago. But it's PA. Like, I would love to see our developers working like in this, you know, intense, like 5 years ago. That would be amazing. They would fix everything. They, like, I don't know if you guys they realized, like, they just fixed the chronic issues of the game like last 2 years. Slowly but surely, they're making the game. The quality of life is getting better and better every day. There is only one thing that if they just can implement all changes in the game to the game in future, and next month, 2 months, game will change entirely. This will be Black Desert Online reforged or something. You will see why I'm saying that, and more details will be on Global Lab update on the Friday, and do not miss that. Increase in extra AP against monster based on a displayed AP. So another thing, another step for end game players. I've seen like lots of casual players and early game players or returnees cried about all the patches that you will see, mostly related with the end game. But hello, wake up. We're playing in MMORPG, and in MMORPG, gear progression or overall progression for anything, it's giving you one of the best satisfaction in a game. You get something, you just work hard for it. For example, you want to get deck weapon, isn't it? From Oct to Decked, you spend 1 trillion silver, for example. What you get for it? 4 shit AP, maybe 1 cap, at all 7 AP? Hello? Really? I spent 1 trillion silver and I got only 7 AP. Bro, 7 AP is just like equal to 100 million worth of crystal. Yeah, who can deny that? But after this change and some other changes, we will see it in future, spot caps and other things, after 310 AP or higher, you will gain extra AP against monsters for each additional AP, this sheet AP. 1 AP will give you 8 sheet AP. People also just misunderstand the part that, hey, are they gonna remove the caps from the AP? No, the caps are still there. The caps are still there. So this means gear progression means in every stage of the game, especially in end game stage of the game. In early game, gear progression, you already feel it, isn't it? Until you reach the tier 9, it's pretty fast way. Until you reach that, every time you get the AP cap or you get some items, significantly you increase your AP or something, and you feel it. But in end game, it wasn't like that. It's still, but it will change. And I'm happy for that. This is 10 out of 10 decision, definitely. Mouse movement, 10 out of 10 decision. Monster Zone balance update. So for that AP increase, they're gonna make some kind of special and also very nice update for the Monster Zone's caps. You know, after 310 AP, each AP will give you 8 AP, so we cannot just stay in the same AP caps with the current state of the game, isn't it? The Darkseekers right now is offering you, like, it requires 1150 AP with 30% cap, of course. Or GALAX GeForce 1.3K, you know. So, for example, in before, let me just read it and I will explain. Following the changes to the damage rules and such as the boost to extra AP against monster based on your displayed AP, the overall balance of the monster zones will be adjusted. This monster zone balance update will include the following changes: monster AP and DP and AP limit adjustments. Each monster zone will now have more specific AP and DP requirements. You know what does this mean? If you do not have enough AP or DP at a spot, at some certain spot, you will not be able to grind there efficiently. If you do not have 1.5k AP, for example, 1.4k or more, for example, you will not be able to grind at Darkseeker Street, because probably they will put some kind of thick borders and it will just block you. Efficiency will be gone, and I'm appreciated for that. There will be more endgame spots according to your gear, and there will be some kind of uncapped spots that you cannot reach that AP with the current state of the current gear level of the game, which is big W. Having some kind of up and down, like upper and lower thick limits, borders, caps is always good. The another thing, if your AP goes over the max limit for the zone, only 5% of the extra AP will count. This is the same AP cap for the Serenity LV or Calphone LV. We already have this cap in the game, isn't it? So every spot in the game, they will have some kind of good sweet points according to the gear it requires. For example, 330 AP, 1.5k AP almost. After you reach that AP, you will just capped by 5%. This means that if you want to stay at that spot, you will not be able to grind more than these 330 AP people. Or 330, 340 or something. I don't know. We should do the math and we will see how much it will be equal. This means, do you want to stay there? You will make the same money with the guy. If you want to just make more money, go to the higher spots. So 330 AP, 360, 370 AP, someone will not be able to make more money at 330 AP at Darkseeker Street. But also, someone who has 330 AP, they will not be able to grind on other spots because the cap in between spots will be giga. That's why you get 8 AP for each shit AP. For example, 330 AP to 340 AP, let's say that you get 2 caps equal to 6 AP, and 10 AP shit AP will give you 10 AP and it will be 16 AP. But 10 shit AP will give you 80 monster AP. So 16 plus 80 will be 96. So from 330 to 340, there will be 100 AP difference. So each AP will have higher value than you can think. So because of that, normally right now in a game with 330 AP, if you're playing a good class, for example, you can grind at Orzeki or Peak Cave easily. But after the changes with 330 AP, impossible. Like, it will not be efficient. Maybe you will deal like 0 damage to them because they will just add some kind of higher caps, really highers. Like, for example, the street will be 1.5k, probably Orzeka will be 1.7k. And with this AP or with 340 or barely you'll start to grind at Orzekia with 350. That the sport's normal required AP, isn't it? Just like all the patches and everything, just well prepared. I'm kind of appreciated. 10 out of 10 everything. I don't know who just, helped our developers. I believe that our developers not capable to change everything in depth. Probably our CM and GM team, or maybe they just consult as some kind of a good team. I'm not just trying to humiliate our developers, but their developer, they cannot see that much deep things. Someone or a group of people actually played the game in depth. They're veterans. They're helping to just, fix the game. Also, let me just, what you guys type. Even if everyone uses the same AP, there won't be an update to fix the class difference, right? Even though like the same, there won't be an update to fix the class difference. What do you mean? Class AP differences? Maybe they just asked the ChatGPT. I mean, it's happening. It might be happen. Is it drops active or not? Because I watched 2 hours and didn't get 1 drop. I don't know. Did you? Maybe you need to wait for the reset of the day. Did you get yesterday's drop? So the recommended AP stays. Yes, the recommended AP 330. For example, this means 330 sheet AP. Yes, 330 sheet AP will. If you have that AP, whenever you get your self buffs, like additional buffs or something, this means that this will be your AP already. With the current state of the game, 330 AP will be around 1450 or 1490 or something. They will just balance and everything perfectly. So I will show you something that you guys will like it. Are you ready? Are you ready? For example, this says 310 AP, isn't it, for Quintel? Let's just do some kind of calculation. 310 AP, 330 AP. From 310 to 330, how much AP you increases? 20. And let's say that 5 caps you increased is, let's say that 5 each caps will give you 3 AP, and it will be 15, and 20 sheet AP, 35 AP directly from the caps and the sheet AP. You will increase. Let's just add 35 under this one. How much it will be? 1330. Nice. And 20 AP will provide you 160 AP. So 1330 plus 160, 1490. So the AP caps, they will increase in some kind of, you know, good proportion, in linear. So it's not like random. For example, like a max AP limit before, Dokkaebi 310 AP, 1.3k AP cap with 70%. What the fuck? Why? You're just checking Dark Street 330 AP, 1.1k. Why? This is just requires lower AP but more cap, a higher AP, lower cap. So lower, 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 and it just goes down and down and or up and up and up significantly. By the way, these can change in the official patch. These are just an example. For named monsters in a certain zones, 50% of your extra AP will be applied instead. What is this for named monsters in certain zones? Named monsters. Do you guys know what is this? 50% of your extra AP will be applied instead. Named monsters. Do you guys know what is this? So, is this making grind and endgame spots for some with 300 AP worse? No, like it will be better for you. For example, if you have 330 and I have 360, I can make more money at your spot. But it will just make the spot for you special, because for your AP, you make the max threshold, you make the max value from the spot, and I will do the same for at your AP. For example, as an endgame player, full maxed out Succession Mayago and just a Succession Mayago sitting on the AP cap, they make almost same threshold at Orc Camp, Serenity Elvia, or Giant, something like that, isn't it? Because they're like 5% AP cap. That 5% AP cap will just bring some kind of good balance in the PV spots. Every spot will have 5%, yeah. Big ones, so these named monsters are big ones. Okay then, okay. For the monsters, for the bosses, 50% of your extra AP will be applied instead. So this is saying that for the normal mobs, 5% of the cap is 5%. For the special mobs, you will benefit 50% of your extra AP. For example, at Darkseeker Street, let's say that I have 1.8k AP. I will just cap it on while you're killing the normal bosses, but normal mobs. But if for the Darkseeker's boss, I will benefit of 50% of additional or the extra AP over cap. That's good. Yeah. You don't know the names mobs until you get a knowledge. If you're S, your damage get higher. Yeah, if I'm not wrong, yes, you get additional damage and you take less damage. So people, like this, let's just read and we'll just talk lots of things again. Loot adjustments. As stat requirements become more detailed, loot drop will be updated so your rewards match the zone's difficulty. So the entire spots, end game spots, early game spots, maybe mid game spots, game will update the entire spots. Can you imagine how big patch is coming? Aggress Fever efficiency. Before, only certain zones were optimized for Aggress Fever. Now, Aggress Fever will be equally effective in any monster zone matching your stats. So from my perspective, what I'm expecting from them, probably every spot will just burn 20k Aggress per hour, approximately. A little bit less, a little bit more. And it will slowly increase, because of the threshold increase at higher spots, it will slowly increase in different spots. That's also a big W. So you can use your Aggress wherever you want, whenever you want. It will not be only Darkseeker Street specific or Orzeka specific or Troll or something. You'll be able to use it everywhere. 10 billion hour every spot at 360 AP? No. Probably at high-end game spots at Adania, we will be able to make over 5 billion per hour. Or maybe a little bit more. There will be lots of pure silver increase. From my perspective, I'm also expecting some kind of Cronstone price changes, because we will start to make giga money at end game spots, and probably early and mid game spot in prices, threshold and other things increases. Even if they not touch the Cronstone prices, they can keep them 3 million. But from my perspective, they can increase the price of the costumes on the marketplace. I think they should. 2 billion is just too low for the current state of the game. They can just keep the 3 million cronstones worth in the MPC, but they can do it. I don't know if you guys agree with me or not. You can also just, you know, say in the comment section on YouTube. And also from please join in the chat and Twitch. Let's make the costume, all the costumes double the price, double the crons in it. But it will be again 3 million in the MPC. So 2.2 million worth in costume again, but the costume prices double, 4 billion per premium, and double the cronstones, like almost 2k. Would you guys like to see it? This also just courage to the people who cannot grind every day or all day or 3-4 hours or more a day. They can do pay to win. They can get proper silver, 35 costumes a week, sorry. They can get proper silver, and this will encourage people to do more pay to win. They can sell costumes, and people who cannot do pay to win to get cronstones, they will be able to buy more costumes on the marketplace. Let me know what you think. I don't think so. Catching up for the endgame players with the new armors will be even harder for new players. No. Because, you know why? Because you will have one chance to enhance your armor in a week. You will be able to only get one blackstone each week. 1 week, one attempt. You know how harsh is that? For example, yes. For example, I have Tet armor. I'll just change it into the new armor. It will provide me. I will the new lands, the bosses. I will only be just able to just kill one of them. 1 boxes and one from bomb box, 1 blackstone. I can't remember the name of the blackstone. Adania blackstone, for example. And 1 blackstone, 1 attempt, 1 week. Imagine you have 4 Tet armors. On the first day, you change your armors. Okay, even if changing the armors will take 4 weeks, if I'm not wrong, but just let's say that you will just change it. Here's the thing: if you want to enhance your armor, it will require 7 attempts, isn't it? From base to oct, 7 attempts, 7 weeks. If you not fail, let's say that you just one tapped one of your armor with 7 attempts, it reaches oct. You have 4 armors, 28 weeks. If you not fail, 28 weeks is 7 months, approximately 6.5 to 7 months, something like that. If you not fail, so that time-gated, you know, enhancement system for the armors is one of the biggest W for the early game players. Coin your deck sovereign weapons will be hard for new players like us if that happened. Like, you don't need to just directly go for deck. Make them pen or hex or something. Of course, there'll be hard things because, like, it wasn't that much easy for people to just go for deck weapon. I was lucky at deck level, but for no level, especially for oct level, I spent lots of resources. I was just lucky at deck. I just spent trillions. They're like, one of my friends spent 5 trillion silver worth of cronstones to make his weapons to deck. Like, you have to do that too. It's an MMORPG, and if you want to get the max items, you have to just, you know, spend a little bit more thing if you're newbie or if you're returnee. But I believe they will make some kind of... Probably they can give more hammers, more cronstones. You guys will have a chance to just catch people. For example, making or building fail stacks before, in my time, back in the days, building 300 fail stack was very hard and expensive. It was like 60-70 billion worth of from 100 to 300 fail stack with the guaranteed way, with the devour items. But right now, it only costs you 18 billion or something, from 100 to 600, 300. So you can use higher fail stack. It means that you would have higher chance than us as you're a newbie, isn't it? Go grind at Tunga Greens for, like, for example, 1000 hours at Tunga Greens. You will make lots of silver. You'll get lots of cronstones. You'll drop lots of limbos. You'll make pure silver from it. You'll make thousands of the devour item, so you will use them for your future enhancements, for your armor, for your sovereign, for all other things. It's easier to build fail stack. So from my perspective, early game players, probably PA will just do more. You will have no issue to catch people. But if your goal is to go for deck, the best and best and best, of course it will be painful, but it's definitely easier than before. Bomb de-isolated, welcome. What if you fail till what's going on? Okay. I doubt it will be 1 try per week, but they said 1 try per week. Yeah, I would love to see 3 tries per week. That would be better, or 2 tries per week. But 1 try per week is a little bit frightening. Maybe for next 6-8 months, they will keep 1 try per week, so it will allow early game players. They will try to boost early game players to catch the end game players. with the armors, then they can maybe make it 2 per week, 3 per week or something. But for the first stage, I don't think they will allow us to enhance them 2 or 3 times per week. We will see, we will see. Because building fail stack is, you know, it's easier. Imagine you don't want to just get risk and you click every level of the armors with 250, 300 fail stack with very high success rate. So it will just give a little bit harsh situation for end game players, so early game players or mid game to catch people. Another thing, let's talk about that. We just yapped a lot. The zone change. Since we were adventurous with a Tunkata these days, it will be converted into solo monster zone. This way, anyone after major loot like Flame of Despair can get more easily. So I'm thinking that probably they will just make the normal Tunkata, like the normal version. I don't think they will do the deck here, but we will see. Hopefully they just make... I would love to see Tunkata 5-man party 370 AP spot or something. That would be really nice. And I'm expecting that they will just make the normal Tunkata solo spot, and it will be good for early game players who are looking for, you know, they want to make their flame. Normally buying armor is better in these days. Seasonal gear finishing at 750 gear score, lol. Damage reduction staking rules updates. Like this part was a little bit not clear on the global lab because of the translation. But now let's check in how it looks in game, like the official translation. Damage reduction buffs granted by skill will no longer stack with each other. Example, if you are under the damage reduction buff from the protected area, with the PA, the damage reduction from the elements generate with will now apply simultaneously. So if you have PA is giving you 50%, isn't it? That will be the maximum damage reduction rate for you. So from your super armor damage, you use your super armor skills, isn't it? And it's giving you percentage DR. Probably you will not be able to do that. You will not be able to benefit that super armor damage reduction rate. 50% will be the max. The bodily rejection effect will be changed. While the bodily rejection debuff is active, the purple buff of PA, you will be unable to receive any damage reduction buffs that lasts 6 seconds or more and offer 50% or higher effects. For Corsair Awakening Labal's help, the current rule still applies. You won't be able to get the same effect twice because of the separate debuff. Hold up, this is also a big nerf for Mystic Awakening if they will not change the skill. Mystic Awakening Self PA is giving you 80%, isn't it? It's 80% or 90, something like that. If you just get PA independently from any wizard or Valkyrie or something, you will have that purple debuff. While you have that purple debuff, you will not be able to benefit from your own PA. Hopefully it works like that, because I'm kind of done with the Awakening Mystics PA. They go in, they take less damage, TC bot blah blah blah. Before they think that they're gonna die, they just do this. Raw, and they just from 0 to 100 in 0.5 second. I don't know. Hopefully this just affects Mystic's PA and they'll just get giga nerf on the PA. For your instance, how buff works in Black Desert Online, this is working like the same in the game. They just say this. It's for your instance. If you get the same type of buff, the one with the higher effect takes priority. If the effects are equal, the one with the longer duration applies. Using a buff with the same effect as one you already have will refresh the duration. Applying a higher value buff replaces the existing one. Applying a lower value buff has no effect. So hopefully just PA just realized that in PV, self buff and the debuff skills for better PV experience and smooth PV experience and better add-on setup, hopefully self buff and the debuff skills in all classes will be 6-second cooldown. Hopefully they do that. I don't know if they can just do that, but that would just make your skills will be tier 2 add-on. Always, you get your buff, you hit mob, you apply debuff minus DP for example, another tier 2 add-on. If you can just stack tier 2 add-ons continuously like that, and if you can keep the tier 2, it's always smooth buff and debuff system for PV. Some classes are not benefit that thing. They have like 4 second, 3 second or 5 second cooldown skills. Their buff or self buff skills, debuff and buff skills needs to be 6 second in the game. From my perspective, after long, PV experience, it's some kind of mandatory, because when I test a class which has 6 second or 7 second self buff or debuff skill, you feel free. But the 5 second crit damage buff, for example, no one likes that. Another changes, skill add-on effect changes. AP increase against monster, increase extra damage to the human, and decrease extra damage to humans. They are removing these buffs and debuffs. Monster AP, no more monster AP add-ons. It's also good for less burden for add-on, what was the name? Add-on buildings. My whole videos will be outdated. Fuck. No! Never mind. Increase extra damage to monster. They're just removing it because this thing will change into increase extra damage to character or something. Normally we have human AP in the game, but they just separated it into two. Humanoid AP and the character AP. Normally human AP works for PvP and also human type of mobs, humanoid mobs. So they're just separating into this humanoid damage only for PvE, character type of damage only for PvP. They're gonna separate it. So they're removing debuff and the buff of human damage on add-ons. So monster APA too. Never mind. Because of that, because of this thing, your skill add-on setups will be removed when we get the patch. So if you want to just, take a screenshot of your add-ons for different spots, you can take them. But probably you will rebuild your add-ons. There will be huge, I don't know. There will be chaos. There will be chaos, definitely. Because monster AP add-ons will be removed. If you, probably we will just, from the first skill of the combo, we will just get attack and cast speed. If you need crit rate, this will be the start. And then crit damage and back attack damage. 4 important add-ons. In the first 2 skills, you will get it. And hopefully they'll make the skills in 6 seconds. Buff and self-buff skills or something. And then if you need, you add plus DP and movement speed to your skills. That would be nice. Simpler system, always better for PV. Accuracy and evasion. This part is just a little bit confusing for people, but let me try to explain. And as announced at Headable, all skill accuracy rates and any accuracy rate increases from the using skills or on hits will be removed. Skills that summoned creatures will also lose their skill accuracy rate. Here we go. This means the percentage buffs, debuffs, and everything will be removed. Everything will be flat. For example, the previous accuracy rate is 25% in each class skills will be converted to accuracy 100 and added to the infinite mastery. You know what does that mean? I'll just explain it in game. They're just making some kind of change into this. When you check my awakening skill, for example, this has 19% accuracy rate, as you can see on the screen. Can you see it? Yes, you can. I have this 6% additional self buff in this skill. They will remove every one of them. And they will give flat 100 accuracy to your infinite mastery skill, to this one, to balance the accuracy issue. Also, if I'm not wrong, let's just read this thing. However, any accuracy rate increases from the passive skills will be converted. Every accuracy rate 1% will be equal to 4 accuracy, flat accuracy. This means classes with the passive accuracy increases will have better accuracy overall. Effects that reduce accuracy rate, increase evasion rate, or decrease evasion rate will also be converted. Each 1% becomes accuracy or evasion plus 4. So this means, for example, your Mystic, when they dash, get 15% evasion buff, isn't it? It will not be 15% evasion. It will be 60 evasion self buff when you dash. So what this provides, no matter what, whenever, wherever, whichever, wherever you want to just, boost your accuracy or evasion, percentage values will not be boosted by, some additional stacks. For example, when you use evasion skill, evasion crystal, the down evasion crystal, it's providing you lots of evasion. And if you have nice percentage self buff on your class, you will be provided, you will just being benefit more than the other classes. For example, why Striker and Mystic feels tankier compared to other evasion classes? Because they have better evasion modifiers, especially percentage. For example, Awakening Sork's modifier is also good. And Awakening Sork also benefits from evasion more than other evasion classes. But they're just saying that they will stop that thing. Yes, of course, Striker and Mystic probably get 10-20 more evasion compared to other classes, but not by percentage. Big W. So class-based, OP things will be removed. They'll get flat accuracy, they'll get flat evasion, maybe they will get flat DR, maybe they will just remove this suprarmor reduction on the skills. That would be nice. We still do not know what they will do about the suprarmor reductions in the suprarmor skills. Because they're removing all the percentage buffs and debuffs and all other things in the game. They should also remove the percentage thing and from the suprarmor reduction. But we do not know what they will do. I don't care what other streamers do, ASF, it's okay. As they announce seasonal gear finishing at 720 gear score, yeah. Do you guys agree that they're making things simpler, more flat numbers, Do you guys agree that this patch will just save the game? The differences between the classes, because of their passive, because of their basics, not the gameplay or not the mechanics, because of their base stats, like Mystic, Striker, and some other classes, for example, they will not be able to benefit like before. In before, percentage, increase in evasion, maybe it was giving 60, 70 evasion more, but flat evasion will give you maybe 20 because of your class difference between Mystic and Musa, for example. And you cannot boost it by percentage. I don't think it's cause confused about the patch. We need to see. Yeah, we need to see. Yeah, Global Lab official translated page. Accuracy rate increases that affects allies will be switched to the accuracy with their values adjusted accordingly. So for example, this means if you have nearby Awakened Valkyrie, for example, give the accuracy buff. Awakened Valkyrie's buff is 6%, isn't it? It will give you 24 accuracy, for example. This is good, but you know what saves the game? Remove the stupid Succession and Awakening garbage that does simply not work anymore and make the classes itself more in-depth. Remove the stupid Succession and Awakening garbage. Balancing between both specs makes no sense to me. So you're saying that make every class Ascension? There shouldn't be. But I don't know. I don't think they'll be able to do that. No way. It not works. If they just make more evasion, if you say that you want to see more Ascension classes, that would be okay. But rebalancing the entire Succession and Awakening, merge them into one Ascension type, I don't know. But because the Succession and Awakening classes being two different way. Succession Maegu range caster, for example. Awakening Maegu, a magic type assassin. You cannot merge them into one. It's just like impossible. They're just giving you different play styles. For example, Succession Dracania is, slow, big AoE burst class. You go in, bam, bam, bam. But Awakened Dracania, like flank flex type, if you can play some kind of assassin type or something. Two different things. But if you say that you want to see more Ascension classes, that would be nice. If they can balance the classes good. Because almost all Ascension classes, they feel bad. Except Deadeye. Like, Scholar was fiasco. Wukong is fiasco on release. Like, Scholar still feel bad. I don't know. It's bad, but I'm saying PA isn't able to balance. Yeah, I know. Like, the number of the classes just increases. Making them balance is just, getting harder and harder. But these changes, they're doing these changes independently, make their works easier. Because lots of, independent things in the classes, making them harder to, balance. But if they just simplify in all classes, they make them equal or close to equal, it will be easier to balance them. So, for example, if you have around the same offensive stats, and for example, you play, let's say, Dracania, and the other guy is playing Mystic, the other guy is Striker, the other guy is playing Deadeye. If you guys all have the same amount of, at same gear level, same AP, same accuracy, it will be much more easier to balance even in Succession or even in Awakening form, in the damage issue. So there will be no damage issue or damage balance issue in PvP and PV, probably after this patch. And there will be only, they will only think about how we can just make this gameplay more unique. Like, the behind of this patch is more than people can imagine. While I'm just thinking, if they do this, and I just say, wow, the idea behind it is just deeper than it looks. And I'm appreciated for this big patch. That's why me saying that this will be BDO Reforged or something. We got the BDO Remastered, isn't it? It was a graphic update, but this will be BDO Reforged or something. A new era of Black Desert Online, definitely. No kappa. Another thing that people hate, they finally equalizing it. Class damage ratios. The class-specific damage modifiers, the damage ratios, we can check them here. Let me just check it. For example, let's control the Valkyrie. I'm human, what the fuck? Valkyrie, for example. When attacking as a Valkyrie class, the ratio of the damage dealt to opposing classes are as follows. They're different, as you can see on the screen. Can I do it like this? Yes. Here, this is the Valkyrie's, all values. We don't have Wukong right now, but they will add it in future. The Valkyrie deal almost exact damage to the Warrior. Ranger deals more. Sorceress, it deals more. Berserker, it deals more. Tamer, Musa, blah, blah, blah. For example, Valkyrie's multipliers are pretty nice. For example, what we can just check... Oh, it wasn't Valkyrie. It was what? It was Maiowa. For Valkyrie, for example, Valkyrie deals less damage to Warrior, 5% less. No one knows why. There is no one single developers or there is no one single veteran knows why we have class modifiers. No one knows. Even PA doesn't know. Yeah, look, what is this? Kunoichi. Look, Kunoichi modifiers. To Nova, 90%, like almost 10% less damage compared to other classes. To Nova. Why? Why am I not going? Let's check the Ninja. Nova, like Ninja is dealing 4% less, but Kunoichi is dealing 8% less. What's the idea behind it? Look at the Witch. Look, Witch is dealing 13% less damage to Warrior and base. What the heck? Look, Mystic 82%, Striker 80. They're dealing in base 20% less damage. Okay, I would understand 5% or something because they are your counter, but 20%. What the heck? Even PA doesn't know why we have that. So they're removing it. They're not removing it, but they're equalizing it. What's the equalization? I'll just explain it later on this one. Before we talk about the new system, we have to understand what the Vanguard is, what the Skirmisher means, and what the Polarizer means. Vanguard means mostly defensive classes. For example, in succession, Warrior, Berserker, Valkyrie, Striker, Guardian, Nova, Corsair, and Dracania. These are the successions in Vanguard. And also Awakening Valkyrie, Awakening Mystic, Shai, Awakening Guardian, and Scholar. These classes will be Vanguard. Well, this means some kind of defensive classes. While they just rebalancing the classes, there will be Giga class balance patch. They will consider these classes, these Succession and these Awakening or Ascension classes, they will be defensive. And they will give some kind of special buffs or debuffs, and then they will consider they will be defensive classes. Of course, these Vanguard or Skirmisher or the other things, they will not be significant, but they will consider that these are defensive classes. The Skirmisher classes in succession, Maiwa, Dark Knight, Mystic, Wusa, Mayagu, and Dosa. In Awakening or Ascension, Warrior Awakening, Sork, Ranger, Berserker, Tamer, Musa, Wizard, Witch, Ninja, Kunoichi, Striker, Lan, Assassin, Sage, Nova, Dracania, and Wukong. They will consider these classes Skirmisher. The Polarizer, I don't know how we can just say what actually Polarizer, some kind of ASUS range mix type of thing, I don't know. Sork Succession, Ranger Succession, Tamer, Musa, Wizard, Witch, Ninja, Kunoichi, Lan, Assassin, and Sage, these will be Polarizer. And an Awakening Succession, an Ascension in Polarizer, Maiwa, Dark Knight, Archer, Corsair, Wusa, Maiga, Dosa, and Deadeye. So, what are these categories? Before we talk about these damage issues, unified damage ratios for all classes. All classes will use a unified one ratio. There will be one ratios. 82.29% base unification. They will just unify all of them. There will be no different things. To keep PvP balance, each class PvP damage will be adjusted as needed. And here is the thing. It's some kind of rock, paper, answer thing. Vanguard deals 5% more damage to Polarizers. Skirmisher deals 5% more damage to Vanguards. Polarizer deals 5% more damage to Skirmishers. Rock, paper, scissors thing. And I'm kind of okay with this one. Example, Dark Knight Q's average ratio is 91.79%. So after this change, all her PP skills will deal 2.5% more damage. That's what it says. This looks like buff for Dark Knight, but just stay tuned because they will probably change the damage on the skills. Updated PP damage reduction wording. So this is also good for confusing. Example, right now in the game, damage minus 68% in PP only. This is the PP damage reduction in the skills, isn't it? Instead of that, they will directly give this to you. 32% damage applies in PP only. So let's say that you have 10k damage in your multipliers. Just 32% of it, this will be your PP damage. So you don't need to just first calculate 68 and minus. No, they're just simplifying it. Yeah, that's good. Summon adjustments. This is big question mark in everyone's mind. Summon will benefit from the special attack damage increases, raising their overall damage. To keep things balanced, the damage of the skills where summon attack directly will be adjusted so they do not become too powerful. So the entire summon system in the game will be changed, and this can make the Awakened Dosa Giga broken or can kill the Awakened Dosa. Of course, they will just, fix them. They will just balance them, definitely, slowly. But hopefully they will just not fuck up in that thing because it's a little bit risky thing. AP increases, DP reductions, and special attack damage effect changes. This part is also a good thing. I talked about something in the first part of the video. They will equalize the classes, self buffs, debuffs, and all other things. This is very nice. For example, Wukong has 30 self AP buff, isn't it? After these changes, Wukong has 20 in passive and 30 from the self buff, 50 AP. But if you check the, for example, Valkyrie only have 20 AP. There is no additional AP increase in the passive. Only 20 AP from F jump or the other skills or something. That's all, for example. That means Wukong and the Valkyrie has 30 AP difference. Even if they be equal gear, equal AP, everything is just equal, Wukong will just independently better than Valkyrie because of the class base, passives and self buffs. What this says, don't worry, all damage reductions, DP debuffs, all AP increase from your passive, from self buff, anything, they will equalize them. We do not know what they will do, but probably everyone will just shred 20 DP. Everyone will get, for example, 40 or 50 additional AP from passive, from self buffs. This will just equalize everyone. You know why? It's because, let me just explain. Right now, they were trying to just buff classes. They were just trying to balance classes with the multipliers in the skills, isn't it? But if you have higher multiplier but less AP, when you reach the AP cap, you will deal more damage compared to the other one because your base multiplier will affect your damage, but not your AP. So they will just equalize the AP. It will be better to just, calculate the DPS for them. So maybe after this patch, they will be able to just, keep the PV more imbalanced. Of course, there will be meta classes. Nobody can deny that. They like to just create meta. But I don't think there will be dead classes or shit classes. And for example, another thing. Let's say that your Valkyrie, you have only self AP buff from the F jump or some other skills. And Wukong has from passive 20 and the self AP 30 AP. So 50 versus 20. It's like plus 30 AP on Wukong. Let's say that you have like 1000, your total AP with your equal gear with the Wukong, 1420 or 1470. We set it thick borders, isn't it? 1470 at Valkyrie will be equal to 1500 with Wukong. So you will be able to grind at other spots. But you have same gear. It's not justice. This is not the justice, isn't it? They're bringing justice. Because AP, DP reductions and all other things, if they just make different, it will be bad. It's good for Succession Dracana, for example, or some classes that they have bad self buffs, bad debuffs. They will make all of them same, and I'm happy for that. Pet's getting buff here. Right now in the Black Desert, even if two classes wear the same gear, their actual AP can vary due to the class traits. Until now, we have balanced these differences via skill damage multipliers. Going forward, however, monster DP will be fine-tuned, letting you to get the best results in the monster zones that match your AP. This means your AP will matter more than ever. To accommodate this, we are narrowing the AP gap between classes and adjusting skill multipliers that were previously tuned to those differences. DP reductions and the special attack damage increase effects will also have bigger impact, so we are revising them as well. To stop percentage-based reduction skills from becoming too powerful in the top tier monster zones, all skills that lower DP by percentage, such as Shia's Misty Haze, will instead use a fixed reduction volume. Because of that, they will rework the Olens, of course. Special attack damage increase effects will be reduced or removed, then replaced with a new effect tailored to each class player style. For example, Dracania has 10% critical damage in the passive. Maybe you do not know, but class has 10% crit damage. Probably they will remove it. They will replace it with the more AP, and they will give more damage to the skill damages and to compensate the PV damage issue. Maybe these type of differences making them to just in their monitor, in their system, 10% damage increase in the Dracania, the DPS is being equal to which? Maybe. But maybe their system is not calculating it correctly. So if they just remove all other things from the passives and all other things, if they just equalize them, it will be easier to just calculate the DPS in classes. These are really good changes. The class balance update, even after the damage formula overhaul, we will continue to monitor. This means that there will be another class balance update. Maybe like next 6 months, there will be huge patches. We do not know. Because there are lots of changes. All of those changes will affect classes, overall game, and it will require some kind of long time class balance updates. That's nice. Resistance and ignore resist effect adjustments. So we all know that they're removing resist from PvP. So here is the thing, as you can see. All the skills or all the passives that provides you resist or ignore resist, they will change them into something, or they will remove them and they will give you something. We do not know what they will give. For example, Valkyrie's E buff is providing you 30 or 40% resist or something, maybe 50%. They will remove it. Maybe they will give additional AP, or maybe they will give additional DP or something. They will give something to you, but nobody knows what they will give. And the skill passives, of course. Alright, this part is the most confusing part for people. We have to talk about the grab, and that changes will just change the entire PvP scene. They're making grab skills more predictable. And also they're adding some kind of good effect to grab, so you will be able to understand that even if if your opponent grabs you, you understand it because you get grabbed. You'll be in the grab and grab animation. But if your opponent failed the grab, missed the grab, and you don't know the grab miss animation of your opponent. We all veterans, we know the grab fail animations in most of every classes in the game. When they fail, we understand. But if you're newbie or if you're casual, in every class, this red blowing effect, you see? Before you grab someone, your grab creates some kind of blowing effect. And you cannot remove that effect even if you decrease the effects, graphic settings, and all other things. You always see that. So if your opponents miss the grab, you see that animation. This means that you're free for next 15 seconds. Not for Berserker because they have 10 different grabs. Not for Striker, but it's okay. Yes, all Elcar crystals and everything, they will be reworked. Crystals, light stones, anything that provides you resists or ignore resists, they will rework them entirely. For example, the Elcar is giving you right now 20 accuracy and 10% ignore res, isn't it? They're removing the ignore res, they will give you 30 accuracy with the Elcar. We will check the list on the next part. But this part is more crucial. This is crucial for PvP. So the effect will be optimized to display under any graphic settings, even with the low opacity, ensuring that it always visible. You will see if your opponents use grab, no matter what. Note, the effect won't appear if the opponent's character is outside of your screen. Okay. Grab skill changes. I thought this was a video. Deja vu moment? Yeah. The grab skill change, melee and range grabs will only let your character turn towards the camera right after you started the grab. After that, you cannot rotate your character. So you grab someone, as you can see this one. Normally, you know that Berserkers grab you, they change the camera direction, mouse movement, lots of things. They throw you from the cliff. I mean, they do lots of things to you. But after this one, when you grab someone, even if you change the camera direction, your character will just go to the last direction, no matter what you do, at the end of the grab animation. For dash grabs, your character will only turn towards the camera at the start of the dash. Once your character is about to grab, rotation stops. You know what does that mean? For example, I can show it in game. I already showed it in the Global Lab review video, and I will show it directly from this one. Let me just catch that red fishes. This will be red, isn't it? SSASA. Yes, definitely red fishes. Kappa. Okay, let's just go up. Hold up. For example, normally, let's say that a Sorg is just dancing around me. I just dash like this, and I dash like this, and I just grab him. But what this says, while you're dashing around, I just dashed here. My camera direction is looking here, isn't it? Even if I look at here, if I just press grab, my character grab this direction. So that these dash grabs will be removed from the game. If you want to grab your opponent, it needs to be at the end of the dash. My dash is, I'm looking here. My opponent needs to be here. If I just do this and grab like this, game will not allow me to do that. That fast desync grabs in the different directions will be removed from the game. That's big W for the grab things. Another thing, grab skill will no longer be affected by attack or cast speed buffs or debuffs, whether you success or whether you success or fail. This means reduce your attack speed to 0. That will be your grab animation, no matter how fast your class is. Dash and grab. That's all. Melee grabs will have 0.3 seconds startup time before activating them. So melee grabs, they all have some kind of clunky start. There will be not like, there is nerfing the direction, and they're also nerfing the instant grab. Like dash grab. There will be some kind of slower animation in the beginning, then I'll just grab the guy. Dash grabs will have 0.3 to 0.4 seconds startup time, including the dash, depending on the distance. So no matter what you do, If you dash, you will wait a little bit. And all the distance, like, and all your direction will be locked for that short period of time, 0.4 second maybe. It's like giga nerf for grab. And also giga nerf for range grabs. Range grabs will take 0.4 to 0.7 seconds to activate based on the distance. For example, you try to grab someone with the LAN. Imagine that LAN will try to grab someone first 0.7 second grab animation, then will try to grab. Grabs will, like, normally grab in the game is mostly instant thing, isn't it? You go and grab in the game. But now grabs will turn into some kind of skills that has startup animation. For example, this ultimate, hold up. It will be like this, dash and skill. First I turn around me and then use the skill. It will be same. For example, I dash and bam. When you see the dragon, I apply the damage. It will be same. Some kind of animation and grab. After fail the grab, you will be able to combo into skills 0.4 seconds later. In some of the classes, when you fail the grab, like this, I have 0.2 second or something. When you fail, you'll have some kind of skills that you can cancel. In Awakening Ranger, for example, or Tamer, you can't even just see that, or when they fail, instantly go to the other skill. So they have no, you do not have time to punish the someone who wants to use the grab. You can punish Ranger because when they try to just grab, 0.05 second animation and cancel. So it's big W. The downside of the grab changes, from my perspective, there are classes that you can only punish them with a fast grab. Sork, DK, Musa, Mayagu, and there are others. Hopefully PA just makes some kind of balance patch to just tune them down. Maybe from my perspective, what they can do, they can stay again hard to grab classes, but they cannot stay fully SA. Decrease their super armors, so you will be able to punish them with the front guard. You can just CC them from behind, something like that. Because if they just sit on the super armor like Musa, Mayagu, Mayawa, Wusa, for example, some other classes. I mean, to catch them, you need fast grab, unpredictable grabs. But they're making all grabs pretty predictable. It will be very hard to just, Wusa is full front guard, what you're saying. Wusa is not full front guard. If you want to stay, you can stay in super armor, Dash, one super armor skill, dash, one super armor skill, dash. You know what I'm saying? If you want to just full DPS on Wusa, yes, super armor, front guard, it's mixed. But you can stay fully protected. You can stay SA with 0 damage. I'm not talking about damage, Heineken. My dear friend, I'm talking about the punish classes. You can only punish Musa, like if the guy is just use front guard. If the guy decides to not use front guard, dash super armor, dash super armor. We're talking about the catching people. Just give me an example. Stop being god of any class. Ninja's block jump grab is doomed. Yeah, block jump grab is doomed, it's true. So hopefully in this meta we will see less super armor in the classes, but Wukong is showing that they will just keep the super armor meta again, because Wukong is just full of super armor, full of protected kit with a grab. I don't know what they will do, and I'm kind of done with the full protected damage or full protected CC meta. This game needs some kind of skill required, especially high-end game PvP. It requires some kind of skill. I just shut off my brain, I press buttons, I kill every people. Or I CC people unintentionally. People like CC each other unintentionally most of the time. They just use super armors because their super armor skills have lots of CCs. So most of the veteran PvP players, they hate that. Okay, never mind. The skill and skill preset rest, like we talked about the skill changes and all other things, add-on changes, the skill presets, skill zones and everything will be resetted, okay? Take the screenshot before we get this patch. Then it's fully balanced, not perma SA like the OP class Musa. I gave the Musa for example. Like Musa is full SA, isn't it? That class needs front guards. If they just remove that grab, like if they grab the guy will be impossible. So we should be able to cancel, we should be able to punish that class. Full SA classes, we should be able to punish them. If we cannot grab a Musa, and if you cannot CC Musa because they're full SA, how we catch it? Big W. I mean big question mark. Removing Musa? Okay. What about Scholar? What about other classes? It will be hard to fight blink classes, at least Musa Maiva, you can see them dashing effect, blink classes. Yeah, like they should remove that blink effect. People shouldn't, you know, become invisible while they're dashing or while they are moving around. They should just remove it. Invisibility only should be skill that can Kuno and Ninja can use, and also Archer has something other thing, like, isn't it? While people moving, Wusa Succession for example, dashing around, being invisible, where the guy is just going that way, that way, that way, just for short period of time become invisible, and it's being so tricky. Let me see it where it goes, but let's stay in an iframe. It's okay. We will see what they will do. You're just predicting shit. True. Item changes following the damage calculation formula overhaul. With the new damage formula coming, we would like to inform you to the plan changes the existing items. The term the extra damage to species will be changed to extra AP against species. Since the AP against humans will no longer affect the adventurers, any main or awakening weapon with extra AP against all species will now also grant extra AP against adventurers. Some items with ignore resistance effects will either have their effects changed or be removed entirely. All other effects on these items will remain unchanged. When the official server update goes live, any deleted items in your inventory will be compensated with a silver equivalent to their in-game value. Just an example, Visionary Crystal of Alcar, 20 accuracy it gives to you, and also 10 ignore res, isn't it? They're removing the ignore res and they're just changing it to 30 accuracy, pure accuracy crystal. The Alcar will be pure accuracy. Yeah, and there are all other things in the list. Probably this list will be bigger. These are just examples. And crystals, lightstones, and all other things. I'm just passing that. Yeah, these are the changes. Normally we talked about this on the global app patch, but I wanted to talk it and, you know, review it with live on Twitch stream with the proper translation from Korean into English. If you guys want to check this one, you can find this on your website and official website. What I'm expecting from you, like this video, subscribe my YouTube channel. Do not hesitate to come and visit on my Twitch live streams. We are just having fun a lot in Twitch. Also, please let me know what you think about these changes. If, from my perspective, I'm giving 10 out of 10. If they can just implement them into the game without issue. Big W patch coming. BDO 2 or BDO Reforge. What's going on to my voice? You know what we say? Do not forget. BDO is just a game and don't play Dracania. Maybe you will be able to play Dracania, I don't know.